Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Had some decent rain last night. We did our live stream, our Saturday night live stream like always. And just as we were signing off, it started lightning. And then after that, we had a pretty decent little thunderstorm and shower. Nothing severe or anything, but got a good soaking. The ground got a good drink, and that's always good this time of the year. I want to encourage you to be watching us this afternoon over on Locals. And if many of you are Locals members, so you'll get to watch it. If you're not, there is a link down in the comment section that you can go over there and sign up to be a member. That's our private membership area. And we post things every day over there, myself or my wife, and then we do a live stream on Sunday afternoon. And it's a good one. It's much more laid back. It's just like a casual conversation, and you can become a member over on Locals for only $3 a month, which is not bad. I mean, you can't buy one of them, communist coffees for $3, and that's just one time, and you'll regret it afterwards because it's not that great. Anyways, I want to talk to you today about finances, economy, money, that kind of stuff. And I want to make it clear that I am, and in no way possible am I a financial advisor. So don't take anything that I say as any kind of a financial advice, because that's just not me. With me, it's more prepping advice, but it's that today from a financial perspective. It's no shock, it's no surprise, it's no secret to any of you that the economy is kind of in that downward spiral. I know that there are people out there in the mainstream news and stuff that are trying to spin this as how strong the economy is. We've heard that from the White House, and if any of you still might occasionally listen to any mainstream news, which I know probably few of you do, they will say that. I've seen a couple of news clips over the last few weeks of mainstream economists saying, "Oh no, it's really a strong economy. It's doing so good right now." I don't know what their point they're getting at, other than just trying to get you to glaze over and ignore the true facts. But the truth is the economy's doing bad right now. I've watched a few videos this week, people they're posting them online, they're sharing them around, and these are from actual attorneys. And they're talking about the amount of bankruptcies. One attorney said that his workload in the last 30 days has tripled. Another attorney said that he's never done so many bankruptcies in his life. He said their firm is to the point that they're having to turn people away. They just cannot handle the workload. They're working late hours. These attorneys and their assistants and stuff are working so much just trying to handle the workload of bankruptcies. And there's been some numbers coming out over the last few weeks indicating that that's absolutely true. The amount of bankruptcies in this country is just astronomical lately. Housing is the same thing. Housing, being able to purchase a home in America used to be one of the main factors, the main standards that we looked upon as a healthy economy, a good free market. Everyone can buy a home. America was really the nation that started that. It used to be that, only the wealthy and people with, nobility and titles owned homes. In America, we were like, hey, everyone can own a home. I mean, it may not all be fancy mansions, but everyone can own a home. And it's gotten to the point that that's not the case anymore. In fact, most millennials and Gen Z, according to statistics and studies, say that they feel that they probably never own a home, just never. So we're talking about a couple of generations possibly not owning homes, and who knows how much worse it's going to be. Home investors, people that invest in the homes, are losing money and they're getting out. 60,000 realtors have basically walked away from the industry over the last 6 months. That's astronomical. I could go on and on and on about everything that's happening in the market and how does that translate into you. Now, some of you and I try to balance the content here. Some of you, I understand, have some investments. You may not be, like super wealthy, but you have some money, right? You have a little bit of money, a little nest egg saved away. You have some money in some investments, some retirement. You're doing comfortable. At least you would have been doing pretty comfortable if it hadn't been for this failing economy. And then the rest of you are probably in the other boat, which is we're just living paycheck to paycheck. We're just trying to stay afloat, trying to pay the bills. We struggle with, prepping because that's just an added expense. So I understand both of you. And regardless of what size your bank account and paycheck is, everyone right now is probably feeling the burn. We're probably feeling the struggle. I know we are here, and everyone that we know is. Oil prices going up. I mean, they're the highest they've been in a year, and most likely will break $100 a barrel probably before the end of the year, the way it's looking, but who knows. So we're easily looking at average prices at the pump of $5 to $6 a gallon. And while that's expensive for you to pay for your own fuel, please remember that virtually everything in this country is somehow moved around or affected by fuel prices. So not only are you going to be paying more at the pump, or already paying more, but virtually everything else that you pay for, the price is going to have to go up to compensate for the added fuel costs. There's other things that's affecting it. Look at food prices. Food prices are on the rise. The United Nations has been warning about that global food prices will continue to increase. And we've seen other experts in this country say that it's going to happen in America. Beef futures right now are the highest they've ever been on record. Absolutely highest. There's predictions of beef prices by the end of this year will increase at, like in-store prices, not futures, but what you're paying for your ground beef and your filet mignons will increase about 30% by the end of the year. We're watching things just spiral out of control, and the prices of many things get to the point that it's really a struggle. This has been going on for the last 3 years, obviously, but I think it's finally starting to play catch up with people. Those of you that have student loans, they're going to start coming due October 1st. That's just a couple of weeks away. You have to start paying on those student loans that you haven't had to pay on for the last 3 years. That's an added drain to your bank account. It's all across the board, folks. And according to the whispers and the talk online, most people are getting it. Okay, there's a lot of videos out there, a lot of posts and stuff. It's becoming a bigger topic on the internet of even the far left that would never want to admit that Joe Biden and Bidenomics is not that great, or saying, hey, this is tough. We don't have enough money to go buy groceries, and I go and I spend $200 or $300 and I barely have enough food for a few days, and on and on and on. Used cars prices the highest they've ever been. New car sales are just almost flat. No one's buying new cars. It's just on and on and on. So what do you and I need to do about it? Well, there's a couple of things. Number one, if you have money in investments, you need to be taking a real hard look at it, trying to seek out the right kind of advisor, because of course that's not going to be me. But moving any retirements from a standard types of 401ks and IRAs and stuff like that into a gold-backed one could be a good option. You may not be getting the returns that you once were getting, but at least it's going to be a little bit more secure. So as things start collapsing, as the dollar starts spiraling downward, I talked about last night in the live stream that India, which is the largest population country on the planet, is now working out a deal with Saudi Arabia to start purchasing their oil, not using the US dollar. That's huge. That's really huge for the US currency. So as the US dollar loses its value, if you have your money in some gold-backed stuff, that's going to make it more secure. There's other gold-backed things, just investing in actual physical gold and silver. Everyone should have at least a little bit of physical gold and silver, not just for investments and security purposes of your currency, but also to be used as, a currency, actual real currency, when things get bad. If you look at other countries, Venezuela, right now Argentina. I don't know if you saw the video with Tucker Carlson. He goes into Argentina and he hands them a $100 bill to exchange for their currency, and they hand him just stacks of their currency. That's a possible direction that this country could go between now and the time that CBDC is forced upon us. So having your money backed in at least a little bit of nest egg of gold and silver to use for trade could be helpful. There is a link, it's an affiliate link, but it's a really good company that I personally use. I was using them before I became an affiliate. Down in the description below, where you can get gold and silver bullion and coins and things like that. So that's some of the things that you can do to secure it. Probably the biggest and best thing, and this is pretty common advice, is you need to pay down your bills. Now you're saying, wait a minute, things are tough right now. I can't afford hardly to buy groceries, and now you're telling me to pay off some bills. I get it. You need to get out of debt as much as possible. Debt is slavery, and the more that you're able to pay off some of that debt and get out of it, the less of a slave you are to the system. It makes it much easier to pull the plug from society and move out here like this when you don't have the debt burden on you. So credit cards, which are the highest they've ever been, there's more credit card debt than ever in history. Delinquencies on credit cards are the highest they've also ever been in history. You need to do your best to get out from under those things. And so how do you do that? Well, one of the ways you do it is just by simply cutting back, folks. We've got to cut back on what we're spending. We've lived in this kind of luxurious lifestyle. And I know some of you are saying, dude, my lifestyle is not luxurious. I get it. But compared to much of the world, Americans are still very luxurious in their living, regardless of how poor they are. You need to cut back on stuff. If you need to sell TVs and you need to sell boats and go down to just one vehicle, that's all we have. We've got one old pickup truck. That's it. You know, cut way back to get out from under debt, to free up some you know, liquidity, free up some cash in your life so that you can turn around and put it towards paying off debts. Then you can turn around and put it towards, you know, stocking up and prepping up. I know this is pretty common financial advice, but it's something that we have to be doing. We can't, as preppers, as folks that are trying to prepare for all this impending doom, we can't allow ourselves to get boggled down with loads of debt. We have to get out from underneath it. And we also have to be conscious of where our money's being spent. And right now that there should be some priorities. You need to sit down with your husband, your wife, whatever, you know, and figure out what are the priorities in your lives. And there are certain things, bills you have to get paid, right? There's certain expenses that just have to be made. And then the rest of the stuff, you need to somehow get rid of it and focus on getting debt paid down, and then focus on prepping up. That would be my biggest advice to you right now, because the winds of change are here, folks, and it's starting to look like an economic collapse is coming in a lot faster than one of the experts. They keep downplaying this. Well, recession might happen. Recession could happen over the next 12 months. The outlook for recession is 25% likely. All this kind of ridiculousness, when all of you know that that's the case. I saw a study the other day that it was something like 60 to 70% of small business owners all say that a recession is actually here. And I know that some of you more financial gurus are say, yes, but according to the recession is, you know, GDP negative, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's true, but they fudge numbers on everything else, and who's to say that that's not being fudged also? The fact is that Main Street is feeling a recession and has felt it for a while, and that recession is about to turn into a depression. And it's very likely it's going to be worse than in 2008, for those that you remember that. If you look at the numbers right now, the numbers almost across the board are worse right now than they were leading up to 2008, which indicates that whatever collapse we're going into could be way worse than 2008. It could be more similar to a 1929 collapse. this is the reality, and we have to prepare for it. Yes, we want to prepare for EMPs, and we want to prepare for nuclear war, and for illegal invasion at the border, and pandemics, and all these things. But you better be preparing for an economic collapse. You better be stocking up and getting ready to learn how to live very simply. And this is something that many of you are doing, but a lot of you need to step it up, folks. There's a reason why your grandma saved, the aluminum foil and all the grease and stuff. I know it's a meme, but it's true, and you need to be thinking along those lines. And if you can do that now, before the big collapse, we're in the downward slide right now, but we haven't really gone off the edge. If you can start doing that now, conditioning yourself, kind of being ahead of the game, there's a possibility that you could end up doing a lot better in this. And again, this collapse could lead into many other things. This could be kind of the final straw for the overall collapse. And so we need to start getting ready for it. And I think that just too many of us folks are not doing it. They know it's happening. They're talking about it. They're trying to kind of tighten up here and there, but not really taking it seriously. And I'm telling you, you need to be making sure that you're getting out of debt as much as possible. Even if you got to pick up a job here or two, just odd jobs and stuff to pay for things, and then start increasing your stocking up as much as possible, because things are about to take a pretty radical change. At least it looks like that, according to a lot of the experts and numbers out there. And we can't just take this sitting down. So the economic problems that are happening are just, they're getting so exacerbated. And we need to be getting ready for that, and getting your houses in order. Folks, it's time right now to do this. It's time to be preparing yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.